Hot Sauce Takes is back. If you don't know what Hot Sauce Takes is where I take you, the viewer, your hottest takes, and I give you my reaction in this video. I make a community post like you see on your screen every weekend, so you can submit your Hot Sauce Takes, and I give my reaction if I agree or disagree. Before we start, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel, as it further motivates me to make more videos like this. So that being said, let's get right into it. The first take we're going to be looking at comes to us from BallOut, and he says, Giannis is the best player in the NBA, and when the Bucks are fully healthy, they have an insane record. Giannis' story to the top is so inspirational. From a skinny, raw Greek kid, Giannis was seen as one of those high-ceiling guys, but had a lot of work to put in. Through sheer hard work, Giannis has worked his way up to be an All-Star, to All-NBA, to MVP. Last year's championship run was extra special for Giannis, leading a non-super team to a championship. Even with his team having injuries and virus problems, the Bucks are still a top team in the NBA and a team to beat in the Eastern Conference. Giannis is perhaps the best defensive player in the entire NBA, being able to guard the perimeter, being able to switch on bigs, and just being elite help defender, while also giving you 28 points, 13 rebounds, and 6 assists a night. But for the best player in the NBA, there's still people like Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, Nikola Jokic, and LeBron James. I currently have Giannis at the 3 spot, behind KD and Curry. But Giannis definitely has a case for sure. He just came off a championship where he was the best player and dropped 50 points in the finals. He's probably the best defender in the NBA. This year, he hasn't. I would give that to Draymond Green. But I would say overall, I would give him the title as best defensive player. He's just so dominant. Unless you double team him, build a wall, triple team him, there's no way you can stop him one-on-one. And the playoffs are definitely going to determine everything. The playoffs is what makes a player's ranking go up or down, and it would be so impressive if he can lead this Bucks team over the Nets, over the Lakers, over the Warriors. If he can to the finals, that would definitely cement him as the best player in the world. The next take we're going to be looking at comes to us from Aurora, and he says, if the Chicago Bulls are fully healthy, they can make the NBA Finals. Last offseason, the Bulls had perhaps the most splashes in the entire offseason, pairing Zach LaVine with Lonzo Ball, DeMar DeRozan, and Alex Caruso, while also getting Nikola Vucevic in the years before trade deadline. At the start of the year, many people were skeptical of this Bulls team. Would DeMar and Zach work? Or how would their defense be? But they have shattered every single expectation and are currently the 2nd seed in the East. DeMar has been sensational, getting to a spot and is right now a top 5 MVP candidate. He gets to his spots and is just another closer you want next to Zach LaVine. Zach can also play off ball due to DeMar's playmaking, and he can just handle the ball, which makes life so much easier for Zach. And with his catch and shooting be elite, he's having quite a really good year. And this overall defense of this team has been good, anchored by Nikola Vucevic, Lonzo Ball, and Alex Caruso. This team is no doubt scary, and I personally think that they can make a deep run with their combination of depth, defense, offense, talent. I think that they can put up a good fight against the Nets, the Bucks, just any team they see in the playoffs, and nobody really expected the Chicago Bulls to be this good, from changing their team from not even a play-in team last year to the 2nd seed. It has been so impressive. Their management has been good. Coaching by Billy Donovan has been also good, even when they have virus problems. And I think that this Bulls team, they might even get the 1 seed, and they're definitely a top team in the Eastern Conference, and they're still pretty young, I guess, or they still haven't had time to gel as much. Like, yes, they've been really good, but Zach, DeMar, Vooch, and Lonzo, they've only been on the same team for about 4 months, and I think that chemistry can get even better, even though it's already really good. And yes, I do agree that the Bulls are definitely a really scary team. The next take we're going to be looking at comes to us from Damien Lillard, and he says, the Phoenix Suns are still 1 piece away from a championship. This year, the Suns have proven that they are not a fluke from last year, as they are in serious contention for the best record in the league. Led by Chris Paul, they have a well-balanced defense and offense. Devin Booker is a bucket who can give you just finish a game if you want it. He's gonna try his best to play defense, and it's just that go-to scorer that they need. Mikal Bridges is an elite 3-and-D defender who can hound the opponent's best player. Jay Crowder is an enforcer who can also shoot threes and play defense. And DeAndre Ayton anchors the defense and is just that presence down low, while also getting a bunch of assists from Chris Paul. They're just a well-oiled machine overall. They have good depth with Cam Johnson, Cameron Payne, JaVale McGee, and many other players, and I definitely believe that this Suns team right now can make a championship run. They have experience from last year. They have one of the best point guards of all time in Chris Paul, and they are fueled from last year's loss to the championship Bucks. They're currently on a roll, and no doubt they are legit title contenders. This team just fits so well. Their chemistry is elite. Just having your team led by Chris Paul is something special, and when you have the talent of this team, DeAndre Ayton, who can take another step, Devin Booker, he can give you 30, 40 a night, Mikal Bridges, and most of the time, their role players step up, at least one of them, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, Cameron Payne, JaVale McGee, players like that, just having that depth, the star power, the defense, the offense, working well, that just clings everything together, and they are definitely going to be really hard to beat in a playoff series. And finally, the last take we're going to be looking at comes to us from Iconic Space, and he says, the Cleveland Cavaliers will make a deep playoff run. The Cavs this year are without a doubt the most surprising team in the whole NBA. They're expected to be in the lottery, but even with injuries, they are 5 games over 500. Colin Sexton has been hurt the whole year, but still, they're competitive. Darius Garland has taken the next step as a shooter and playmaking, leading the offense while also having an elite floater and three-point shot. Evan Mobley is just a generational talent on both ends. He can shoot a little bit, he can pass a little bit, he can do a little bit of post-up, and as a rookie, he has a case to be an all-defensive player, which is insane. He can guard the perimeter, he can guard the paint, he's a good help defender, and especially with Jarrett Allen also playing like a top center, this team has just been working so well. Now, they did lose Ricky Rubio, which hopefully he gets better, but the Cavs immediately found a backup in Rajon Rondo, which shows that the management wants to compete and want to be competent, unlike what they were a couple years ago. They're still definitely a young team, with Mobley being around 19-20, Garland like 23, Jarrett Allen like 24, and even if they lose in the first round, it would be a very successful season for this team, and they have just so many options. They have Isaac Okoro, who might take another step, and I really like this team with just Kevin Love has been good, like reviving that veteran who you could potentially can trade, and they're really starting a culture, especially on the defensive end. They're currently like 3rd in defense, which if you said the Cavs would be 3rd in defense at the start of the season, no one would believe you, and it's kind of insane like how good this team has been, even with injuries. Lauri Markkanen, Kevin Love, Garland, Mobley, Allen, they've all been hit by the virus. Ricky Rubio, Colin Sexton, they're out for the whole season, and still, they're better than the Lakers right now, which is kind of incredible, and I just really like this team so much. Evan Mobley, so good. Darius Garland, so good. Jarrett Allen, he deserved that money, and there's still a potential for a trade. Maybe they'll get Ben Simmons to further make their defense better and just run the offense alongside Garland, and I think that maybe they won't make the second round, maybe they won't make the conference finals, but this year is just a step in the right direction. So that being said, that's going to be the new episode of Hot Sauce Takes. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on next time.